Hi, welcome to Leadership Mythbusting with me today. I'm Maunula from Nitro Games. I'm a game producer coming from a community management background with a vast experience in customer experience and customer service. Okay, let's start with a very classic one. Women can't be good leaders, and this is something that someone had the audacity to say straight to my face. I was young, I wasn't a leader at that point, I luckily let that pass by, but this is still something that many seems to believe. And I have news, it's 2021, your sex does not define you as a leader. Unfortunately, this is not the only stereotype in this category, so let me show you something more. People struggle with this skin color already enough in their life, yet in leadership, that can often be seen as a problem or blocker. It is not. Whether you come from different country or culture, your skin color is different, it does not define you as a leader. Unfortunately, we are still not done with this category. There's other very crazy things on the same thing, like why would you want to become a dad? Your family life ruins your focus and dedication to work, so you can't be a good boss. Like, really? Really? Your family values that actually teaches you to become a better leader is not suddenly stopping you. Yes, life can sometimes get really... Yes, family life can be sometimes very straining, it will stress you out, it consumes your time, but it will most definitely not make you a bad leader. It will actually teach you more new things and soft skills that will help you to become a better leader. And unfortunately, we still have one left for this category, disabilities. So it is actually quite sad to see and hear people considering any sort of disability, from hearing to seeing to walking to mental illnesses, being a blocker for your own dreams. So meanwhile, the other three examples are more something that someone else will tell to you. These are something that I often hear people considering themselves. Like, oh, I can't because I have this bipolar thing, or I can't because I have this HCAD, or I can't because I need to use the wheelchair. Yes, that will make your life harder. Yes, there will be challenges. But these do not define you as a leader. And actually, those challenges that you will meet in your life, those challenges that you get to face on life with these disabilities will actually help you in your journey in a leadership. So it is safe to say this one is busted. Let's go to the next one. Good leader comes with a pre-made and finalized process that everyone must follow. Well, it's not so simple as the previous ones. One of the first issues I met as a fresh leader, my team was very hesitant to change anything, to improve anything. I had to dig through many layers of, yeah, I will trust when I see this, or we tried it and never worked, so it's not going to work now either. And you know, that kind of attitude with some of the changes that I was proposing for the team. So I really had to sit down and talk with them. Where does these fears come from? And after a while, I was able to get to the bottom of it all. They had seen so many producers coming and going like a storm, bringing new ideas how to do things. But instead of making it work with them, they forced everyone to the same mold that they have used in their previous company, previous team, previous game project. This is a new situation, new team, new environment, and it is teamwork to make it work with them. It is definitely most welcome to bring the best practices and teach others what could work, but not telling them exactly what to do, when to do, how to do, leaving no room for teamwork. After knowing where the fears came from, I was able to have this kind of breakthrough and show them what I mean with agile systems, and especially with retrospectives. There is constant loop of feedback, and being able to show them that you are heard and we are improving things. Nothing will happen overnight, and it's a continuous iteration. So This one I'm gonna actually give plausible because it is good to bring your best practices in. It is good to show and explain others what worked in your previous companies or with your previous teams, but it should be teamwork and something that you guys build together, not something that you come and tell the others, this is the only way it will work. So, give or take, plausible. Oh boy, this one, it is stuck so strong into the stereotypes of leadership. You know what? One of the most appreciated and praised feedbacks that I get out of my traits is actually this one. I do tell my team honestly if I don't understand something, or even if I'm having a headache that will cause me to struggle throughout the day, I cannot focus, I can't perform, I cannot be so proactive, I will tell them. And they are thankful for that because I'm human and I don't want to work with robots. I want humans around me and I'm expecting them to be able to tell me also if they struggle so I can help them. I think it's super important being able to admit when you're wrong, when you need help, when you want to say sorry. These things will build the trust and make sure that whenever you need, you have the support and help from your team. So this one is definitely busted. Let's move to the next one. Being feared is more important than being respected. This, my dears, makes me so sad and angry and frustrated to see and hear that this is still alive in 2021 when we have all this data and human psychology understanding available for us. I mean, if you really want to sabotage and pay more, get less done with less quality, by all means, do it. Act like this. But anyone who's capable of reading, writing, and Googling today, you should be aware how fucked up this thinking is. You will actually make things worse at your workplace if you act like this. And let me show you, let me prove you what I mean. Here's some nice statistics, just the top of an iceberg. You surely want your juniors to become seniors someday, right? Because of the experience and so on. Well, 40% of them can't, want, or do not even know how to progress because of the fear that you caused to them. Thinking, they must fear me instead of respect me because fear is so powerful and strong tool. 67% of them do not even talk about fear because of the fear itself. If you're willing to sacrifice your roadmaps, your schedules, your budgets, okay. Fear can paralyze. It can make people physically sick. So they need to take sick leave. Like 44% of these people, they have taken sick leave because of stress, anxiety, or depression that can be all caused by fear. Are you already seeing why this myth is such a terrible myth? 9% of those people who took the sick day off can already tell you it was purely because of that fear. So maybe it's time to think respect is better choice than fear. And I declare this one busted. Let this be the last time we ever allow people to even show this myth. Next time you hear or see this, let them know, let other people around you know, fear is not the way to go around. Don't get attached to people working for you. Shout out to my buddy Pascal who commented this on LinkedIn. I've seen the same with a little bit different wording. Keep your distance to your employees and don't bring your personal life to work. And while I do agree that it's important to have an understanding of the limits and distance between work life and your personal life, there is also a big distance being just a boss versus great leader. Employees can rely and trust you on your professional experience and value you as a leader based on your achievements. But to really trust you as a person, to be able to trust you as a leader, someone to follow to, someone to dedicate their work life to your common goals, it goes so much deeper. your values in life, your views on the world situation, your current work culture, the tone of voice, the culture that you're trying to build at your workplace. It all affects. And if you're willing to share those experiences and thoughts with your employees, they might as well do that to you, with you. You learn more about them. You share experiences. You give them a reason to trust and believe in you. And that you can build a great trust towards leadership. While I disagree with this myth, there is some truth to it. So you as a leader, you must be able to read the room and draw the line with people. Some will of course be more distant and not willing to share so much details. And if you come with the mindset that no one will, you miss an opportunity. That opportunity, if you get to talk with the people and if you do learn more about them, they are willing to tell you what motivates them in life. Why do they work in this company and what do they want from future? And that is a great valuable asset for you as a leader. So be careful, draw the line and don't cross it. If you cross it and get too attached, it might take you to the rabbit hole. If that person chooses to leave, for example, you might become bitter and toxic because you might feel that you gave everything for these people and in return they leave you and stab you in the back. That's not how we want to go with this. I do want to give this one plausible just because you need to be careful, but you should take the great opportunity to learn about your people by sharing about your life with them. And I do want to remind you, these people are not working for you, but with you. With that, let's go to the next one. Oh, and another classic. Leaders are born, not made. Oh my gosh, I hate this one. It's not one or two times when I heard people saying, but I'm not a leader. I wasn't born as a leader. Or, but I don't have the personality to become a leader. This is such a big BS. And let me open up this a little bit. While some people naturally take the ownership and they start to lead other people, sometimes it comes from wrong motivational points. And I know because I am one of those so-called natural born leaders. I take the reins most often, and I do struggle. I do not get a free pass for this kind of leadership. I actually have to tone down a lot of those traits that come with that confidence and cockiness. So let me give you an example. In team exercises, I often overrule others because I think I can do it faster, better, smarter. I have an idea, I have already vision. The vision is so strong in my head. I take the breath out of the room, which actually makes me a bad leader. I had to learn to be able to give the others the opportunity to grow, become better, and share their opinions and points of views and visions. I had to learn to listen, while someone who might not be so natural as a leader might need to be more confident. So all of us need to learn something. There is no free pass for leadership. I'll give you another example. People like me, when we look at our work history and other leaders we have met, we often automatically compare ourselves with those leaders. And not always in the most positive way. We seek mistakes, weaknesses, something that we feel that we could do better, and we take it as a learning, which is also a good thing. But I have often noticed that those people who do not come from the same motivational backgrounds, they seek and they look at those leaders from the teaching point of view. What did I learn from this leader? What can I take along with me if I become a leader? So we both learn, but we just observe the things from different angle. And this is of course not true for every single one. Every one of us are unique people with different traits, different skills, a different mindset. This is just my observation. So for this one, busted. There ain't no free passes for us natural born leaders. It actually gives us the false illusion of I was born ready. So busted, busted, busted. Everyone, you, me, the extrovert, the introvert, the overly adaptive yes person, the harsh overload, anyone in between can become good leader. It just takes effort. It takes willpower. We need to study and we need to learn how to become one. Leaders lead by example. And unfortunately, for a long time, I was in this dark place thinking that I cannot do JavaScript or C++. I cannot use Maya or Blender. I cannot use Unity. How can I lead those people by example? I was struggling to understand how could I lead them by example. I tried to dig it from my experience and my skill set within the customer experience and player understanding. So yes, I can challenge my team to think every feature that we do by those traits, who we do this game for, what do the players enjoy, how can we make them happy, how can we excite them. But that is so game specific. I wanted to deep dive into this. So I really wanted to get to the bottom of this. How can I lead by example? And that went way beyond anything game specific. Truly the core of leadership, the soft skills that we can cater, elaborate, and grow the culture around these things. Here are just few examples from my experience. How to communicate in better ways. As a team, how do we speak to each other? How to treat each other fairly, equally, and with respect. How to maintain focus. How can we benefit from empathy? How to boost your ambition, how to build confidence, how to manage time and workload, how to share responsibility while maintaining ownership on your own work. These are the values that I want to cherish, and I really want to support everyone in my team to build on top of these, and that we can all learn. And I really need to do it by leading by example. I need to value these things and teach others the same things. This has nothing to do with your coding skills, your artwork, the software that you use. Pure soft skills. Let me give you another great example. How do I lead by example? And this is very relevant because the talk you are now hearing is something I was really scared to do. Today here, you might not luckily smell it, but I'm sweating like a pig here. I'm really scared to put this out publicly because of my rally English and insecurities about this kind of talks. But I am here, partly because I told my team, I have this great opportunity, but I'm scared to do it. And I got the love and support to do this. I am here now today proudly telling that the values and soft skills really helped me going forward on my career. And it helps me as a leader. And this is me leading by example, facing my fears with all of you today. Here's one more slide for the key learnings of this talk. Basically, anyone and everyone can become a great leader. It just takes a lot of effort. You should build on trust and you should lead by example. These slides will be most likely shared later on. And here's some helpful resources I want to share with you today before I run out of time. You are probably already aware of these kind of events and mentorship programs out here especially in the Finnish industry of gaming. But also I want to highlight something that one of my coaches made me do back in the days, which was this Big Five analysis. If you have chance to do this kind of personality traits, understanding your own built-in features kind of thing, definitely recommend doing it because it will help you to understand how your team may perceive you and how you can modify how you give to them from yourself. And there's books and others. One special shout out for the open-ended requirements exercise. It will help you to show your team in a way that they can learn it, to drive their thinking from I'm going to focus on here, on my tasks, to we are working on this together. It is an easy exercise that you can do physically at office or also online, let's say with a Miro board or similar platform. Definitely give that a try. Thank you for joining today. It was great to be here. I hope that we can keep the discussions ongoing on social media, so feel free to DM me, add me as your friend in LinkedIn. And after this, we do have a tiny slot for Q&A, so see you there.
let's jump straight into that question. Can you tell who is the author, or where can I find the book Open-Ended Requirements Exercise?
Yes, I love this one. It is by David Barnholt, and it's available now in the Discord thread as well. I linked all the links there as well. It's amazing. What I really love in this one is that this goes also to one of the questions in Discord, that how to kind of overcome some maybe challenges or toxicity towards you as a leader. With this kind of exercises, it is not me telling you how to deal with this thing, but making the people learn by themselves. So in this one, you divide the teams into two separate teams. You give them the exact same task, but with a little bit different way. In the other one, they can just go to the blind, I'm just going to do my tasks, and the results will be quite bad. And in the other one, they actually have to work together, and that reinforces what I have been trying to tell them all this time along. We need to work together, we need to talk, communicate, and ask the right questions. And this way they can actually learn themselves, because then they will see the results immediately after the workshop. So it's perfect and it's super fast to do. Please do it with all the teams you have there.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, there's a fascinating question in the chat, but I want to break this down again into a couple of questions. First of one being, what was your personal role into what you identify as a leadership position? How did you get here?
I'm the problem solver, and I always came to situations not just by bringing, hey, I see a problem here, but I have a solution how to fix it. And that's exactly how I came from office management to social media to commodity to QA to localization, because I always saw something that could be fixed. We might not have had the hands and resources to fix those, so I was always trying to seek how can we solve this problem. And it still stands today, no matter what the role is. I'm just solving problems for others.
Yeah, right, exactly. So then sort of a follow-up to that is, through this experience, how do you personally, what's your personal take, and do you have any tips or tricks on how to gain the respect of your peers or your team?
That's a long journey, and I definitely faced some challenges with that. Not just from the team, but coming from also from my confidence. How can I come out as someone that you can trust and really follow and agree on my thinking? So I don't know if this is working for everyone, but I really wanted what I say to others is something that always has this kind of bridge to something that they can agree on. And if we don't agree, we need to be able to justify and talk about it honestly and openly together. So basically, I'm never coming to tell you that, hey, you need to do this because I want this. But the solutions come from our agreement that, hey, we should do this. And that kind of grew, and people started to realize that they can have their own ownership. And I actually support them on doing it instead of me telling them what to do it.
Right. So to paraphrase, you're not trying to, or your mission is not to sort of override them or tell them what to do, but more like work with them to reach a common goal. In this case, your agreed upon goal. I think that's really cool.
Absolutely.
Now, specifically, the question is tricky. With this background is, and what do you do when the people that you're hoping to work with have a negative impression of you? Maybe because you don't conform to their idea of what a leader should be. Like, how do you have any tips or tricks for someone who's in this situation?
I love challenging people, and I do welcome opinions that are different from mine. Instead of just saying, no, that's stupid, I don't like this, I want this to be done my way, I do want to understand where they come from, where does that negativity come from. And for example, in my path, it may have been because I was inexperienced, or community management has nothing to do with coding, for example. So understanding where those ideas come from if they don't believe me. So I understand why they don't believe in me, and then I can prove it by challenging some of their ideas and thinking. And there was a really good example, one of my team members, who I love, by the way, but we were often arguing and challenging about how should I lead. And I was specifically requested to lead by military style. And I was like, doesn't really fit my style. I cannot stand behind it, but I want to learn more. So if you really believe this, tell me about it. Share your thinking. And this person shared books with me. He shared his experiences in the previous companies, and we once again came into an agreement that hey, there's some good things to take from that, but maybe some of my examples are working actually better than some of those, and we were happily on the same page after that. So I guess it comes down to understanding and empathy again, because they have these thinkings and reasonings for some reason. There is something behind it where it comes from, and I need to understand where it comes from.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic point about like the military style alpha leadership, as it's often described. That there's a reason why it exists. I don't generally agree with the reason, but there still is a reason. So what you're saying about this is sort of talking with people of what they want to get out of it. They want a specific type of a leader because they, I don't know what it would be, but maybe if they want a strong leader, maybe they want the confidence of somebody thought this through and stands by their decisions, even if they're bad or whatever else it might be. If you can get to the bottom of that need, then you can probably provide it as well. You can cater to it in your own way. So I think that's a fairly deep answer right there. And also kind of cycling back on the first question there is, based on all of this, would you have any specific tips in this case for women, young women, getting into leadership positions? Or do you feel like there's, I guess for me, first of all, you said in your slides, anybody can be a lead. That's a fact. But still, from your point of view, do women need women-specific tips for becoming a lead? Or should we now just talk about young leaders' tips?
Very good. When I think there's a couple very generic ones, like you can build the confidence, like fake it till you make it. It doesn't come suddenly. It might help if you are one of those natural born leaders, because you have that kind of confidence in you already, but that's something you can build and you gain it through that experience. So the more you do, the more you learn. One is maybe something more personal. I don't know if that fits for everyone, but honestly, it's just trusting my gut feelings. So it comes down way to my history, like especially in Finnish culture. When I chose in the basic school, because it was an optional thing, and people were asking like, why do you pick this one? You should be in the fabrics where you make clothes, or on the music one. And I'm like, I have no skills about those. I'm not interested about those. I know in my gut I want to work on computers. I don't know yet what, but they're so interesting. So I went there, and I was the only girl in the class. Didn't let it bother me, because I knew it's something I want to do. I didn't care about other people's opinions at that point. And same and over again when going to the next school, choosing a different path. And I went to university. There's a very classic. Basically, you came out with the same diploma, but 99% of the females go to the more like sciences about how to do billing and HR and that kind of stuff. And in our class, we had only, I think, 4 girls on the more technical side, and people were like, why are you here? And again, I was like, it's not your problem. I want to be here because I want to be here. So it's kind of, you might need to struggle against these big windmills, but just trust your gut feeling. If this is what you want to do, you can definitely do it. You need to learn a tip or trick, and you need to like study constantly, but it's possible. There is nothing stopping you about it. Not sure if that's a good trick, but trust your gut feeling.
I think that's getting some audio delay here, but that's fine. I think that's spot on. And what I was thinking about, first of all, inspiring words, I fully agree. And also what I was sort of provocatively asking just now, is it really do women need special tips for leadership? I think the answer there is no. It's more of just a paraphrase. It's the confidence. Like really, be confident in yourself. Whatever your minority, whatever your specialty, that's your superpower at the same time. Be confident in that superpower. I think it's a bit of a tangent, but it's the same in music. Like uh, when you're arranging your piece or when you're writing music, there are no wrong notes. You only have low confidence in some notes. So figure out your own notes and have confidence in them and sing your own song. You will be an effective leader. I think that's been a thread through all of today's. That's excellent.
You put it nicely.
Thank you. So, out of all of this, we discussed so many different things. Where do you, if anybody is listening to this and they get super inspired, whether they're junior or already in the path of leadership, what's the one thing you would tell them to do next?
Especially if you're now junior, seeking to be more senior, or just trying to get that next step, like, you don't need to rush. There's no hurry. Of course, we all want better salary. We want nice titles. I wasn't seeking those titles when I went to new career paths or new titles or new positions. I wanted to do something that's meaningful to me. I wanted to take learning from that. And sometimes even I feel that I did rush a little bit. I went speedway to the next thing. And there could have been so much more that I could have learned about those specific areas. And just now, for example, with me and many of my friends, we were talking about the seniority. And all my friends were like, oh, yeah, I want the next best title and I want more salary and I want to be a senior on paper. And I was like, I just want to stay here for now. Like, now I know where I am. This is where I should be. This is what I want to learn. And I want the next step to be something giant, something I can confidently say I have this big learning or this big achievement or something that can justify to myself that I deserve it. There is no rush. I don't care if it comes within the next 5 years, 10 years, somewhere there. I want to stay here and I want to really digest everything in this current situation. So don't rush. You still have to work until you're 65 or 70. So there's a lot of time, no rush.
Take your time, learn, and you'll be the expert giving this talk in a couple of years.
Yep.
Fantastic, Maria. Thanks so much for taking the time today. Really appreciate this a lot. And if people are interested, how can they get in touch with you?
I think I spanned my all social media accounts in every single slide there. You can find me almost everywhere. I'm always online, basically. And I think if you just want to chat about work stuff, LinkedIn is the best one for that. But if you're also interested about, art, cats, gaming in general, Instagram and Facebook and all those works really well as well. And I tend to be quite active on multiple Slack communities and Discord communities as well. So you can find me everywhere online.
And I think you said before that if somebody really disagrees with what you were saying, then especially bring it on.
Yes, I'm ready.
Welcome to challenge.
If we see a lot of, if you know some leader, or if in the audience today we have someone who still believes that fear is the way to go forward, I here within all these witnesses, challenge you an online debate with me, because I want to teach you. You're not going to go to the right way with the fear thing, so challenge.
Excellent. All right. I believe we'll continue with today's agenda, but again, Maria, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Cheers.